Hi, my name is Cassidy Parsons, and for my semi-extreme makeover, I chose my Science Center as my center of choice. In my Science Center, we really struggled to get kids to interact in the center. They wouldn't spend much time there. They would get frustrated with materials because they didn't understand them. They would often look past the Science Center when given the choice. So for my semi-extreme makeover, I made it a point to make sure that I assisted the children learning all the new materials. I added study materials to the center. I extended our center from just one carpet to the table right next to our center. And I also tried to get more students interested in the concepts at the center by adding earth science, physical science, mathematics, all those sorts of things into the center. So with my center, at the beginning it was really bare. There was a book in one part, and from the book it had the seasons, and we were studying trees at the time. So to change that, we took the book and we added some natural material like tree cookies, sticks, leaves, bark, anything that involved trees, we added that. On the other side of it, we had another science table that we added a scale to. We added magnifying glasses. We added natural animal materials to that center, and picture cards that corresponded. So there was a snapping turtle shell, and it had a corresponding card that explained a snapping turtle, what it was, fun facts, everything like that. So then the kids could grab an item out of the box and then find the corresponding card to it. So there was like a snapping turtle shell, and then there was an alligator tooth, so then they were easily able to find the alligator card because it had a little picture of a tooth on it, and so they knew the tooth went with that card. So as far as my science center went, my kids would get really frustrated with materials because I would put new stuff out and they wouldn't know how to use it. So I made it a goal of mine to sit down at the Science Center and then have my two TAs monitor the room. So at the Science Center for a week, I sat down every choice time with my kids, and whoever came, I would explain the activity, whether it was a folder game. And our folder games for this study was earth science, and it had recycling, it had the moon cycles, it had day and night stuff, it had what you wore during the seasons, stuff like that. So my folder games were all earth science, so I really wanted to sit down with the kids and explain to them how to use those. I also wanted to explain to them how to use the magnifying glasses, the scale. We also had this board that was a magnetic board, and it had a bunch of different items in it, and they were all in round little containers, and it had a magnet. And if you put the magnet over the thing and it was magnetic, it would attach to it, and if it wasn't magnetic, then it would just stay in the bottom. So I really wanted to make sure my kids knew how to use those. So I really took my time for about a week straight to explain to them how to use that. With that, I also added all of my study materials, which this study was trees, and we had children bring in stuff from home. We had them bring in stuff from the playground. They got to see a tree cookie, and they used the magnifying glasses to see how old the tree was, so they really got to really understand how this all works. And to tell you the truth, we had to add a bucket in order to keep all of the children's branches, leaves, sticks, all of that. They really, really enjoyed that. They really took to bringing stuff from their houses in to say, this came from the tree in my yard, and this is what we're studying. And then I also extended our science center to include the lunch table right next to it, so then they could play the folder games right there on that table, and they'd have a lot of extra room to spread out, and then they wouldn't feel confined or claustrophobic because they wouldn't have enough room. Like they could use that to write on, they could use that to document, do anything like that. So they felt like they could really spread out and really kind of expand the science center from just the carpet that we had to more. With all of these changes that I have done, my children have really started to show an interest in the science center. They spend anywhere from 6 to 11 minutes at the science center a piece. They can easily manipulate all of the materials. I plan on continuing to make sure that I sit down and introduce any new stuff. I found it really interesting that I would introduce it to my older kids and they were able to teach the younger kids how to use it, and it was really nice to see that transition of I'm a teacher, they're a teacher, and then the younger kids learned from them. So it was really nice to see that. So with my science center semi-extreme makeover, I would have to say that it went really well. We also extended it outdoors, and every day it's a new discovery outside. We have binoculars, magnifying glasses, tweezers, so they can dig for worms, they can look up in the sky at the birds, they can really do anything they want, and it's really working really well. So anyways, that was my semi-extreme makeover, and I'm really pleased with all of the results. I'm going to continue with what I'm doing, and I hope to only make it better as the year goes on. Thank you for enjoying this talk.